So, thank you for joining this class tonight. We're going to start off lying down a comfortable position on your back. Let the arms rest down by the side, straightening the legs out in front of you. Let the feet be about hip distance apart. Letting the soles of the feet move out to the sides. And then maybe taking your right hand to the base of the belly and your left hand onto your chest. And we're going to start the practice very gently this evening, just starting to slow down the breath. And notice how you're breathing here. Taking smooth, slow inhalations through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. Maybe lengthening out the back of the neck, tucking the chin into the chest slightly. Allowing your muscles to release. So we're going to take a scan up through the body and see if you can consciously relax anything. Nothing needs to be working here to begin. Starting at your toes, traveling along the soles of the feet to the ankles, to your calves, to the knee joint, traveling up your thighs to the hips and the glutes, feeling the support of the mat on your lower back, traveling along the spine to the backs of the shoulders, letting the shoulders melt down here, feeling a little bit more opening across the chest, traveling to the backs of the arms, feeling the elbow joint on the mat, along to the wrists and to the fingertips, feeling the point of contact with the palms at the base of the belly and your chest, and then traveling back up the arms, coming to the back of the neck and to the back of the head, then bringing the attention up to the crown of your head, and finally bringing that attention to the space between your two eyebrows, your third eye. And letting your focus remain here as we take 10 deep breaths. Really starting to slow down the breathing now. Maybe beginning to make a slight constriction at the back of the throat when you exhale, so that that sound of your exhalation becomes audible. Activating your Ujjayi breathing. One more full breath here. And then on your next inhalation, release the palms to the floor and bend up the legs to plant down the soles of the feet. From there, we're going to take the right ankle across the left knee and let that knee keep moving out to the side. So just seeing how the hip feels here. This might be a stretch already, or if not, we can start to draw the knees into the chest and interlace behind the thigh. And just start gently hugging the legs in there to feel a stretch on the right hip. So you might feel the right glute, maybe even a little bit of hamstring here. Try to keep pressing through the ball of the right foot so that leg's active. And if there's any pain in the knee joint, just ease off. Feeling that as you stay here for a bit longer, you can start to draw the legs in a little bit closer. And then from there, we're going to keep the legs drawn in close, but let the right sole of the foot drop down to the side. So you're coming to a twist, letting the knee and the foot drop down, and then maybe propping the knee away with your arm, so straightening out the left arm and taking the gaze over to the right fingertips. So you might feel a sensation deep within the right hip here. Or if you're not feeling anything, maybe it's just quite relaxing. On your next inhalation, bringing the legs back up to center, and then unhooking the right foot and taking the left foot across the right knee. Either staying with the left knee moving out to the side, or we're going to start to draw the legs in, hooking on top of the shin or behind the thigh. Trying to keep the back of the body long on the mat, keeping the chin slightly tucked into the chest. And keeping the shoulders relaxing down as you draw the legs in closer. Maybe starting to draw the legs in a little closer to the chest. And then we're going to let the left foot and the right leg drop over to the side. Coming to our twist the other way. So straightening out the arm to prop up the leg there. And sending the gaze back to the left fingertips. On your next inhalation, hugging the knees back up to center, and then drawing the knees into your chest, starting to rock out on the spine, giving yourself a little lower back massage. From there, crossing the ankles and taking a hold of the backs of the thighs. We're going to inhale to draw the knees to chest, roll up, and exhale, come to balance on the sit bones. Inhaling to roll back, exhaling to lift. 2 more of these in your own time. And with your last one, you might roll all the way over, and we're coming to find a tabletop position. Turn the right fingertips away from you, and then they might come to point to the side of the mat, or they might point all the way back towards your right knee. And we're going to take an exhalation and press up between the hands, doming the upper back. And inhale to drop the belly and lift the chest through. Exhale to arch the spine upwards. Inhaling the opposite way. 2 more like this. On your next exhalation, bring the spine to neutral and turn the right fingertips back around to face the front. And then we'll take the left fingertips around. And we'll do 4 cat-cows this side. So exhale to press up between the hands, doming the upper back. Inhaling to drop the belly, draw the chest between the arms and send the gaze up. Exhale, belly button back to spine, engage the core. Inhale, lift sit bones, lift chest. 2 more in your own rhythm. As you exhale, bring the back to neutral and turn the left fingertips to face the front. And we're going to inhale to straighten the right leg out behind us, keeping the toes down on the mat. Start by just pressing through the heel a little bit so you can maybe feel the calf stretch here. And then we're going to root down the left hand. We're going to let the left ankle swing out to the side so we're creating a stable base. Turn onto the side of the right foot and inhale to lift the right arm up. So we're in a supported side plank. Maybe you can send the gaze up to the right fingertips. Maybe reaching the right arm all the way over, finding a nice side body stretch here. Keeping pushing the mat away with the left hand, gripping slightly with the fingertips. And keep pressing the hips forwards. One more full breath here. As you exhale, start to thread the right arm underneath the left and turn the left foot back in line. Staying with the right leg straight and extended. See if we can bring the right shoulder down to the mat and maybe straighten the left arm forward. So we're threading the needle here. Maybe feeling a stretch on the back of the right arm. Inhale, bring the left hand back underneath the shoulder, gently pressing back up and finding a tabletop position once again. We're going to inhale to send the left leg out behind us and start pressing gently through the heel. Feeling a little bit of stretch through the calf. And then stepping the right hand in so it's in line with the right knee. Let the right ankle come out behind. Twist to the knife edge of the left foot and inhale to reach the left arm up. Maybe the gaze goes with it. Turn the left palm to face forward and inhale to stretch the arm all the way over, finding that side body sensation. From here, take a full inhalation. And as you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right and bring the right knee back in line. Walking the right hand forwards and pressing through it slightly to maybe find an increased stretch on the back of the left shoulder. And then inhaling to make your way back up to a tabletop. Tucking under the toes. Lift the knees off and then send the hips high to find your first downward facing dog. Keeping the knees quite soft to begin with maybe. Just trying to get the sensation of lifting the sit bones up to the sky and pushing the mat away from you. Gripping with the fingertips, finding that length through the spine. And then maybe pedaling out the legs. Inhaling to send the gaze between the thumbs and slowly tiptoe the feet up to the top of the mat, letting your knees bend and come to find a seated position. From there, we're going to bend the legs up in front of us so the soles of the feet can plant down. We're going to take the right leg, leaning the weight back, bring the right ankle onto the right knee. So we're making the same shape we did lying down, but seated now. And then you're going to be trying to lift the chest up, and maybe you can bring the left knee in closer to increase the stretch here. So this might be enough, or depending on where you are, if you can take the hands away, you can bring the sole of the right foot into the left elbow and hug across the right knee with your right elbow. Maybe take the left foot away, and then you can kind of cradle your leg here, trying to sit the chest up nice and tall. Letting the shoulder blades keep moving down the back of the body. And you can notice how if you decrease the angle of the joint there, it can change the sensation of the stretch, and it might feel more intense if you have your leg to more of a right angle. Slow, deep breaths here. You might want to rock the leg a little bit if that feels nice. From there, gently releasing the leg, and we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the left leg. And then we're going to turn the foot to face the side, and we're going to come down onto the forearm, so you're lying on your side here. We're going to keep pressing through this right foot to see if we can lift the left leg up as you inhale. And exhale to lower it. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhaling to lift the leg. Exhale, lower. 2 more in your own time. From there, we're going to come back up onto the left hand so the arms straight. We're going to reach the right hand down so we're gazing towards the right toes. And we're going to press through the knife edge of the left foot to inhale and lift ourselves up, reach the right arm over. And exhale to dip the hips. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more like this. This time when we inhale to lift, we might lift the hips and lift the left foot. And exhale to lower. 2 more like that, or sticking with the previous option. Exhale, lower the hips. This time, inhale, lift. Plant the hands to the back of the mat and step to a downward facing dog so you're facing the wrong way. Don't worry, we're coming back around to face the right way soon. Just take a minute to pedal out the legs here. And then we're going to inhale to lift the right leg up behind. Exhale, bend the knee and start to stack the hips open. Keep pushing the mat away with the hands. And then taking an inhalation to draw the knee to the chest. And exhale, step the foot between the hands, facing to the back of the mat. We're going to walk the hands around the inside of the legs so that we come all the way back to face forwards. Pressing through the hands, take an inhalation to step into your plank. An exhalation to soften onto the knees, tucking the elbows in close to the rib cage, all the way down to the mat. Inhale to lift the chest, float the hands. Exhale, press through the hands and lift yourself back up to your downward facing dog. From there, bending the knees and taking an inhale with the gaze coming forwards. Exhale to hop or step to a seated position. Keeping the legs bent again, we're going to come to the left side. So taking the left ankle onto the right knee. And starting by just lifting the chest here, seeing how that left hip is feeling. Then if it's all feeling good and you want more stretch, we can take the sole of the left foot into the right elbow crease and hug around the other side, maybe straightening out the right leg, keeping the chest lifted. Noticing if there's any difference between the sides. Trying to keep the spine nice and upright. And then we'll gently release that. Step the foot to the outside of the right leg. Bring the hand behind you and maybe shuffle the hips so you can come to lie on your side a bit more. Bringing the forearm down. We're going to start with just the leg lifts. So inhale to lift the right leg. Exhale to lower. 3 more of these at your own pace. Squeezing the inner thigh here. Then when you've done your 3, coming up onto the right fingertips. So the fingers are pointing to the back of the mat. As you inhale, the left arm reaches all the way up and over and the hips lift. Exhale, the hips dip back down, reaching towards right foot. 3 more like this. Feeling free to stay with the first option if you prefer that one. And then for the last 3, we're going to see if we can lift the right leg as well. So inhaling to lift the hips, float right foot. Exhale, coming back. Hopefully you don't hit a yucca like I did. One more like this. Then we're inhaling to lift the arm all the way up and over. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, pedal out the legs. Then we're inhaling to lift the left leg up behind us. Exhale, bend the knees, start to stack the hips open. Feeling that stretch on the right hamstring and inner thigh. Take an inhale to bring the knee to chest and exhale to step the foot forwards between the hands. Now we're crawling around and this time we're going to stop in a straddle position and take a wide-legged forward fold. So both feet are parallel to the short edge of the mat and letting your torso drop down here. So try and see if you're sending the weight too much to the toes or the heels and find somewhere in between the two. Letting the shoulders be soft here, head be heavy. And then we're crawling the hands around to frame the front foot. Taking an inhale to step into your plank. This time knees can stay off the mat as you exhale to lower through your chaturanga. Inhale to your cobra and upward facing dog. Exhale. exhale into your downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg up behind you. And exhale, step the right foot between your hands. So from there, we're going to shuffle the right foot towards our left hand. And either coming up on the fingertips, or if you can, planting down the hands either side of the mat. So it's like your leg is almost coming into a pigeon position. We're going to exhale to drop the knee out towards a pigeon. And inhale to start to straighten the leg and draw the hips back. So exhale, bend the knee, let it drop to the side. Inhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs. 2 more like this, just going to whatever point feels good for your body. And then we're going to exhale, drop the knee down, and we're coming into our pigeon pose. So starting for a few breaths with the chest lifted. Working out what angle works best for your front leg, for your body this evening. And then we can start to walk the hands forwards, maybe coming onto forearms, maybe resting forehead down to the mat. And we're going to hold our pigeons for 10 deep breaths, so find a point that's comfortable for you to hold for this. Inhale to walk the hands back in towards the leg. Pressing down through the palms, tuck under the back toes and lift that back leg up. And as you exhale, step it back into a plank. Take an inhalation in your plank pose. Exhale to roll the shoulders forwards, coming up onto toes and bend at the elbows. Inhale to lift the chest between the arms, upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the left leg up behind. And exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Then we're walking the left foot over to the right side of the mat. And finding a point where we can either press down our fingertips or pressing down through palms. Exhaling to drop the left knee towards left wrist. And inhale to straighten the legs, pulling back. 3 more at your own pace. Keeping the breath nice and slow. And this time as we come forward, we're letting the knee come down to the mat and lifting the chest, setting up for our pigeon on the other side. Check around to see that the right leg's coming straight behind you and not a wacky angle. And that everything feels okay in both the knees. And then we'll start to walk the hands forwards, maybe coming down to forearms, maybe resting forehead down to the mat. And we're holding for 10 deep breaths. next inhalation, walk the hands back in. Pressing down through the hands as you tuck onto the back toes. And take an inhale to lift the left leg back, stepping into a plank. Optional vinyasa or coming straight to your downward facing dog. Take an exhalation to bend at the elbows and lower. Inhale to lift the chest, draw shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. From there, inhaling, bending the knees, gaze between the thumbs. Exhaling to hop or step through to a seat. Straightening the legs out in front of you. We're going to draw the right knee into the chest. Interlace the hands and then interlace them onto the sole of the right foot and start to extend that leg upwards. Doesn't have to come to straight, just to where you can feel a stretch in the hamstring. And we're holding here. Trying to keep the chest lifted. Keep sitting on the sit bones, not letting yourself roll back. Maybe bending the elbows to draw the leg in closer. And if that's feeling okay, we can start to take it a bit further by bending the leg. And then you can bring the right arm underneath and bring the leg up onto the right arm. And then you can take the right fingertips out to the side. Take a hold of the outer edge of the foot with the left hand. And we can start playing with extending the leg here. Or just working with squeezing the leg onto the thigh. This is the start of a lot of arm balances. So just taking it to whatever point you feel this evening. I'm going to stay in this one. And then bend the leg you've got lifted. We're going to step it to the outside of the left foot again. And we're planting the right hand down by the side. So twisting to the same setup you had for our lifts the first round we did. But this time we might come to a baby grasshopper pose. So we might stay with just inhaling, lifting here, seeing if we can lift the back foot. Or if that felt really good last time, we can reach down for the inside or the outer edge of the left foot with the right hand. Step the left hand in towards the hip. And then you're going to push down through the right foot. And as you push down, bring the chest forwards and the hips can lift off. Squeezing that foot into that gap, bending at the elbow. And this is our baby grasshopper pose. So maybe having a little play with that, seeing how it feels. If not, we can be here stretching it out in our side plank. When everyone's had enough of the grasshopper, we're all going to inhale to circle the right arm up and over, stepping it back to a downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg. Exhale, step right foot between the hands, crawling all the way back to the front. Inhaling to a plank. Exhaling to lower. Inhale, lift the chest up, dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, soften the knees, gaze between thumbs. Exhale, hopping or stepping through. Coming back to your seat. This time we're bending in the left leg, right leg is straight. Interlacing the hands the way that feels a little bit funny. And then straightening out that leg. Again, trying to sit nice and upright here. Just coming to a point where you feel a sensation in the left hamstring, maybe the left calf feels a bit of a stretch too. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed and dropping down. And then if that's all feeling okay, we can bend the knee and draw it to the side of the ribs, taking the left arm underneath, and then hitching the leg up onto the shoulder a little bit more. Take the left fingertips out, maybe holding on with the outer edge with the right hand. And we can see if we can start to straighten the leg there And you're lifting the chest up and through. And if that's a bit much, we can stick with our stretch here. And we're going to step the left foot to the outside of the right leg. Plant the right hand down and come back to that side plank setup. So you get an extra view of it this time. If you want to try the baby grasshopper, we're reaching in front of the left shin for the outer edge of the right foot, so the little toe side of the foot. Step the right hand back in close to your hip and have the left toes pointing whichever way your knee's pointing. From there we start to lift, send the chest forwards and lift the hips up, and then this right elbow is bending and helping us hold here. Once you've had enough of that, we're circling the left arm all the way up and over, coming to our downward facing dog. Inhaling to lift the left leg up behind. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands and slowly walking it back around to the front of the mat. Inhaling into your plank, either going through a vinyasa or coming straight to your child's pose. We're exhaling to lower. Inhaling to an upward facing dog. Exhale, let the knees come down to the mat and send the hips back to the heels, arms reaching out in front, forehead resting down. Nice slow breaths in your child's pose. Let the shoulders melt down towards the mat, bringing the armpits closer. And feeling the breath into the back of the body here. As you inhale and the lungs expand. And you exhale to let everything soften. On your next inhalation, make your way up to a tabletop position. And then sending the hips down to one side, rolling yourself around to come to seated. And hugging the knees into the chest, coming to lie down on your back. Taking a moment to roll out on the spine here. Giving yourself a little massage. And then setting the feet down. We're going to take one more pigeon leg shape variation. So taking the right ankle onto the left knee. And then pressing the palms of the hands into the earth. Press through the left foot. And inhale to lift the hips up. So keep letting that right knee drop out to the side. Coming to our one-legged bridge pose. Keep lifting the hips up, engaging the left glute. And then we'll soften down, stepping the right foot down, take the left ankle across the right knee. And as you next exhale, start to lift the hips on this side. Slowly lowering down the hips, hugging both knees back into your chest. Taking a few breaths here, giving yourself a squeeze. And then we'll keep a hold of the right leg and send the left leg out straight. Take the right knee into the left hand and then draw the leg across your body, sending the gaze back to the right fingertips. Taking a nice spinal twist here. Inhaling to bring the knees back up to center, hugging both legs in. And then we'll keep a hold of the left leg, sending the right leg out straight and drawing the left leg across the body, taking your twist the opposite way. Inhaling, draw both legs back up to center. Give yourself one last final squeeze. And then we're sending both the legs long on the mat and take the arms overhead. We're going to take the hips over to the right side and the feet and the hands over to the left. So you're finding a side body stretch here, making a bit of a banana shape. And then you might want to hold the right wrist with the left hand and stretch the arms over there. Inhaling to come back to center, sending the hips across to the left and the feet and hands over to the right. Maybe holding onto left wrist with the right hand and taking your side stretch the other way. Then gently bringing yourself back to the center, setting your hips up, so maybe pressing through the feet to lift them and tucking the tailbone under slightly. Let the shoulders move down the back of the body and straighten out both legs. Let the feet be about mat distance apart, rolling them out to the sides, letting go of any muscular effort in the legs. Let the palms face up towards the ceiling. And if it feels comfortable, gently closing down the eyes and allowing everything to soften here in our final pose, our Shavasana. Stopping control of anything, just letting your body breathe and noticing the support of the earth. into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, gently rocking the head from side to side, bending up the legs towards you. And when you feel ready, rolling all the way over onto your right hand side. Taking a few breaths here in this fetal position, symbolizing rebirth, feeling reborn into your weekend a little bit lighter, a little bit more free in the body and mind. And slowly from there make your way to a comfortable seated position, letting the eyes remain closed or the gaze soften down. And we'll finish our practice with 3 closing breaths all together. Take an inhale, bring the arms up around the sides. Exhale, palms meet hands, come down to the chest. 2 more in your own rhythm. Bowing your head down towards the hands, bring the thumbs to the third eye to think kind thoughts, to your lips to speak kind words, and back to your chest to have a kind heart. Thank you all so much for your practice. Namaste.